Yes, here we are once again, which of course means it's Wednesday at noon Eastern Time. It is time for the High Noon Hemp Show. You find us live video and video on demand, of course, on Facebook. That's the Temptations Beach Facebook page, the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel, and at Temptations on Twitter. If you want the Podbean podcast, we can find that on Podbean. Search the High Noon Hemp Show, or on Google Play or the iHeartRadio app. I am Stoner Jesus. You can probably tell from the sound of my voice, I am quite under the weather, but I'm still here for you, the fans. I know I make fun of you all a lot, blame you for us not winning any podcasting awards, but still, I love you all, and I'm here for you. I will be muting my mic as much as possible so there's not a lot of sniffling and snorting and coughing and clearing the throat and all that stuff. But I'm still here if you're worried. He is Beach. He is high above the Temptations in Sharonville, the hemp quarters, if you will. How are things this week, Beach, in the world of Temptations?
Things are good. Welcome, everybody, to season 15 of
Indeed.
the
Season.
High Noon Hemp Show. Yes, we are here at all those places that we can be. I do want to say that the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. That's a big thing right now.
Sure, we would not be approved.
Um, it's true. We do have kind of some local news now. I did address this last week because we had a viewer who asked me about it, and then I had someone in the industry as well asked me about the article that then came out about what the Ohio medical marijuana policies that have been enacted recently. Once again, these policies do not affect the retail market of any of these cannabinoids or anything. And so what they've done is they have just added Delta 8 and Delta 10 and THCO and HHC and all these things that we're starting to find that we're getting from industrial hemp 100%. That we're finding are out there. And the reason that they did it is they just want everything to make sure that everything's clearly labeled right for what you purchase at the dispensary. So you can go pay dispensary prices for this stuff, or you can just come into Temptations and buy it. It's up to you. But the medical marijuana policy in Ohio does not affect the retail sale of anything. And obviously, these are industrial hemp products that I'm referring to because they are not marijuana defined, so to speak. That 0.4% or higher THC marijuana, so to speak, what they call it. And I'm going to go into more of that later because the DEA has kind of made an interesting statement about marijuana, as they call it, in a minute. So again, this new Ohio MMJ policy additions doesn't have anything to do with the over-the-counter 100% legal retail sales of any of these substances, even Delta 9, as long as it came from industrial hemp. So there you have it, locally anyway. So, all right, let's dive right into the product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, as I like to say. And I don't have any more this week. Sometimes I do. The first is we got some of our flour back in. We were like picked clean. I didn't even realize there were like 0 jars of this stuff on the shelves at any of the stores. So I apologize for that. If you enjoy CBD flour or CBG flour, we have our stuff back in there. As you can see, we got the Super Haze, the Bubba Kush, and the special sauce back in. And again, that's CBD flour. 100% legal with that 0.3% or less THC. And if you want to wrap that CBD flour in hemp, then we have a full line of billionaire hemp wraps. So you can feel like you're a billionaire when you smoke your CBD, one way or another. So take it, wrap it, roll it up in your hemp, or if you're lazy like me, you could just get these Rogue Origin pre-rolls. And so we're restocked on those in all the stores, I believe, as well. Totally sold out of those. I noticed, we're out of some stuff, and some of that was just because of availability. You know, but if you like these Rogue Origin pre rolls, and these are CBD, and there might be a CBG pre roll in there too. I'm not positive. Um, and come on in and get some of that. And then, of course, if you're feeling dirty after all that, you can just get some Just Hemp soap. Just old natural flake, doesn't even smell like anything. So when you go out, you'll be like, what's that odor? Oh, it's just hemp soap. That's my hemp soap. That's what I smell like, hemp soap. Which, is a great smell. Regardless of, I'm starting to see some more of this, and this is not necessarily related to this cannabis industry, the noxious odor of cannabis, which was just another issue out in a county out in California or something. Again, this is just, that's nature. It's like I don't understand how, I mean, nature has a lot of bad smells that we haven't made. Like, you can still dump natural fertilizer out in your field, and that doesn't smell that good. Your horses don't smell good in the field. Your cows don't smell good in the field. The pigs don't smell good in the field. And again, who's made any of that? Of course, there are some restrictions on where you can have animals like that because of the smell, I'm sure. So anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. Get yourself just some unflavored Just Hemp soap. And the product spotlight. There's the 4 from the store. Now the one from my door, I just kind of found again, as I'm moving stuff around and doing stuff and kind of getting stuff straightened as if I can. Finding some of my older stuff. This is my little Kinder gear. And I don't know, I meant to go look to see if Kinder gear still exists, what their story may be. But this is a very, very old hemp little duffel bag, basically. And I did take it on vacation with me because I had, just recently found it, and so I packed it away on vacation. And so there you have it. 4 from the store, 1 from my door on the product spotlight here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Now, if you can get through it without hacking or wheezing, I wonder.
That's right. Well, I guess we're going to find out because it's time for the most important segment in the history of the world. Yes, that sounds like hyperbole. I don't care. I stand by it. It's the best. I don't care if we don't have any awards. Prove me wrong. This is not the best segment because it's where fashion and hemp collide. Is our beachwear segment where I ask Beach a very important question. Today we have, I think, a little bit of goth beach. So that's interesting.
No, I call it black and tan.
Black and tan beach.
Black and tan, actually.
I ask Beach the most important question you'll hear asked all day. I guarantee it. What are you wearing, Beach?
It's true. If you're waking up or you just need to know, well, what are you wearing, Beach? Black and tan. What's that? That's a drink if you don't know, like half and half of something and something. But I am I have a little tan on, not a whole lot, I suppose. It's true. Up there on my lid, I got my No Bad Ideas hat. Now my long sleeve button down over there, which I kind of wore as a jacket today. That's a Hemp Company long sleeve button down. And really, the 2 shirts that I have on are the whole outfit, because these 2 shirts are actually made by 2 Jupiters. My long sleeve underneath, the tan, and the black pocket are made by a company called 2 Jupiters. 2 Jupiters no longer exists either. But I thought it was kind of apropos. If I was going to wear 1 2 Jupiter shirt, I might as well wear 2 Jupiter shirts.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I've never worn either one of those on the show before. So there you have it.
Well,
On the What Are You Wearing Beach, a unique 2 Jupiters outfit. Try doing that at home, listeners. Kentucky Hemp Outfitter jeans, of course, my favorite. I wear them every other show. Got my Hempies belt holding them up. My Green Springs Technology pen sticking out of my pocket there. My Hemptopia briefs again. I do like my Hemptopia briefs. And bringing it all together, my Hemp Traders Argyle socks. I don't know if Hemp Trader still offers these socks, but these are definitely one of my favorite black socks. My Argyle. It's just because I like saying Argyle. Who wears? We need more people wearing Argyle. We need more hemp Argyle stuff. I'm just sure of it. And then bringing it all together with a classic pair of hemp shell toes. And that's what it is, folks. If you're wondering, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know that's kind of black and tan. Not quite goth. Maybe I'll do like solid black someday, and we'll call that
That's right.
my goth. It's pretty close. It's true.
Emo Beach.
Beach. I can do it. Sounds like a good place to visit. No, I don't know if it does or not, but my kid would be into it. Not that he's emo black, but I don't even know what emo means. I just picture electronic music, but I don't even know. I think that's EMD. Or AM something. I don't know. Anyway, let's jump right into this news, folks. Get going on here. I feel like we're moving fast. I don't know how much stuff I really have, but I was talking about the DEA. They're now changing their definition of marijuana. Okay, because they're saying that marijuana that contains, and this is now a seed description more than anything, but a plant description too. But they're saying that marijuana that contains less than point, just so you're straight, less than 0.3% THC is actually considered hemp. Now you're like, yeah, we know that, but this is the thing. This opens up the availability to get seeds from marijuana growers that have then bred that THC out and maybe reclassify them as hemp. I don't understand why why the DEA is really doing this, because once the marijuana grower, and this is how all CBD flower started. This is how Charlotte's Web started. It all started this way. The growers of marijuana, what the government calls cannabis, but that has more than 0.3% THC. They breed the CBD out, or the THC. I'm sorry, the Delta 9 THC out, and they boost the CBD percentages or the CBG percentages. And again, these plants already exist. They know that these marijuana plants that have high CBD or better CBD, they know these marijuana plants that have lower, they know they can produce with lower and lower THC. That already exists, because guess what? They've been breeding cannabis for a good 50 years now for THC, and there's so many bloodlines, so to speak, of different types of cannabis. And again, there's hundreds of industrial hemp. I would venture to say there's 1,000 of what they call marijuana when it comes to cannabis cultivars out there. And so I think what they're really trying to do is encourage the marijuana growers to produce low THC plants, high CBD plants, and then put those to the market here in the United States, as far as that goes again. And so, it's so funny, because I used to call it the tale of two CBDs. Well, now you can almost call it the tale of two marijuanas, because by the DEA's definition, you have marijuana that contains less than 0.3% is actually considered hemp, where marijuana with more is still on the controlled substance list as well, or included in the CSA, as they said. So, but I mean, to me, it does seem like they're encouraging more hemp growing that way, one way or another, and making it a less of a priority for them, which it shouldn't be a priority at all. But the DEA still likes to stick their head in the industrial hemp business, and This is one. This is actually a good step, in my opinion, because this is a policy change on their part that makes CBD or hemp more acceptable in their eyes. Actually, hemp. I don't even want to say CBD. All hemp, one way or another. Whatever you're growing it for. Malaysia is also going in the right direction. It looks like they're going to allow hemp farming, and also kedum, which I found out is kratom or kratom, which is a natural herb that our customers really enjoy. The interesting part about kedum in Malaysia, and I don't know if this is true about hemp before this law changed, was the fact that you could grow it, but you couldn't do anything with it after you grew it. Like literally cutting it down was against the law. Growing the plant itself, not against the law. Um, Cutting it down, cultivating it, doing whatever, exporting it, all against the law. And again, what I think they're looking at is the fact that in countries where it is legal to grow kedum or kratom, um, there's seen huge amounts of it being exported to the United States because again, it is an all natural substance that works better. Especially, my understanding is a lot of our customers use it so they don't have to use opiates. And so, anyway, uh, but part of that is the fact that now Malaysia's okay with growing hemp too, which is good. Now that they were talking basically for medicinal purposes, one way or another. So I don't know what that means for the citizens. I think it just means they would probably export it under the guise of medicinal purposes. Well, Tennessee was going to try to make Delta 8 illegal, but they thought, well, that would be stupid. Why would we do that when we can just write some new laws for it? So now you have to be 21 in the state of Tennessee to buy Delta 8 products. Well, not yet. This is the new law that goes into effect January of 23. Must be 21. Here's the fun one, and this is what we're going to start seeing now. It adds an extra 5% tax on Delta 8 products. Just Delta 8 products, 5% extra tax. Now, and this is fun. In the edibles, you can have no animal, cartoon, mythical creatures, or superhero characters. So they specifically wrote into this law as to the shape you cannot make your gummies. Which whatever. It's just so stupid. Once again, it's like even if you are 21, you're too stupid to take home animal-looking gummies or mythical creatures or perhaps a Superman Delta 8 gummy. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but Delta 8's still illegal in the state of Tennessee. So anyway, and then the last little part, which I think is interesting, this is probably how they would do it in Ohio if they try, is enforcement goes under the Department of Agriculture. So I guess you're just going to have a bunch of farmers running around the shops, like making sure that people are carding for Delta 8 and just Delta 8.
Uniforms.
They're official Department of Agriculture coming in. Those aren't those bears there, those gummy bears. Those don't have Delta 8 in them, do they?
That's right.
Those would be illegal here in Tennessee. So anyway, and here's probably one of the reasons why Delta 8 got saved, because they realized that it would take a hit on an industry. I also found out that Tennessee went from having about 4,000 hemp cultivation licenses to about 1,000 in the last 2 years. So, everybody came out, big gangsters, after 2018, 2019, 2020, huge years. Now we're starting to see everybody kind of settle in as to who's doing what. And again, we're definitely seeing this The graph goes like, it's like way down here. I should make a graph way down here with the growing, and then it went way up here, and now it's kind of coming back down, and it's going to, probably level off here in the next couple of years and just kind of figure out. And again, here's the thing: is we may still see another boost because, like I've always said, if the FDA officially announces, some standards for GRAS, or generally regarded as safe, so that CBD on itself can go into food or drinks, that then will cause another huge demand on CBD, because then we're talking about the companies that control the food and beverage in the world, the big guys, all seven of them. Which is, if you don't know, there's like seven companies that control like all the food and drink distribution worldwide.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of little tiny things, but you know that's the oligopoly of food and beverage in the world. Anyway, once they know it's okay in the United States, they'll go gangbusters. And then, of course, the EU is still opening up. Kind of, there's some countries say they're not really sure. Um, and again, as it becomes more legal or accepted, and that's CBD in the world, um, there is going to be another probably boom or demand for it. That's for sure. So, but right now it's kind of on the down, because we had the boom, we had the original boom, and but there's still more room for another boom. It's not doom. I don't know what else to say. I'm done. I'm done rhyming. I know that. Oh, Nike releasing yet another shoe containing hemp. This one's called the Safari. Um, Now I kind of wish they would have made. I did send. Oh, I didn't send you pictures. Dang it!
Yeah.
I didn't.
Didn't get any news pictures. I would have noticed that if I was not so
Yeah.
out of it right now.
Ay, yeah. My bad, folks.
Nope.
Anyway, the dunk. They're using it again. It's got like. I wonder if I could send those over like Zoom quick. Like,
Sure. Why not?
let's just see if I can connect the world as I wish I should have. Let's see here. Think I can. Think I can.
A little behind the scenes stuff. If you want.
Hey, Ryan, this is how I did it.
The old broadcasting software, we would not have been able to do this. We just had to wait. But with this, at least I can pull
We'll
them up.
see how quickly that gets there now.
That's right.
But and so, I might as well. But anyway, what I do like about this is Nike is actually now, instead of using the hemp in the shoe as trim, it's the base of the shoe for the most part, and so that's something that, um, sometimes they just like make the swoosh. I think the last Nikes that I showed, they were just putting like hemp on the tongue, and this now looks like that same material, as what they were using on the tongue of one of their shoes recently. Um, but they used like cougar leopard skin, I should say, like a leopard print, not leopard skin.
Yeah.
It's a leopard print, as the trim. Man, it would have been nice if it would have been like a Bengals kind of Bengal tiger stripes instead of leopard, but I don't really like the idea of a safari including shooting a leopard or a tiger. So why do they have to call them safaris? Just because they used leopard print on them. Anyway, um, so let's see what else is new in the world. Human Plant Solutions, and I think I talked about these guys one time before, but they are up and running, and they're using hemp for prosthetic limbs. Now, what I thought was interesting about the article that I saw about them, reminded me that they existed, is that they're in Kansas, and they can't get the hemp from Kansas because hemp isn't, they're not growing enough, or they're just not growing it for that purpose in Kansas right now. So they have to import the hemp that they use in their prosthetic limbs. And so, again, all natural, sustainable materials. Uh, my understanding was, again, they use kind of carbon now, but people don't like that as much or something. I don't know why. But that's probably really light and strong, and that's probably why they use it, which is what hemp would be, light and strong. That's why it works for prosthetic limbs, one way or another. Um, let's see here. Did any of those pictures come through?
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
Stupid
What's
Google.
going on? I say,
I just keep
what's
hitting
going
refresh and just nothing pops up. Hey, there it is.
Hey
Now it's
ho, hey ho.
all right.
And I did send a couple over just if they got there in time, one way or another.
Indeed. I have a
Yeah,
candle and I have underwear.
yeah, but you didn't get the Nike?
No, just got the 2 picks.
Huh, interesting. I think it was titled 5 when I titled it, but maybe it just didn't come through. Well, talking about the candle then. Again, we were just talking about candles and basically more that the wick is what we're seeing in candle companies. But this was on another article. Um, this particular organic beeswax candle with a hemp wick by Moss Chandler's. And again, what is just crazy about this, and why you use a hemp wick? Hemp wick burns the slowest, according to the article. Hemp wick burns the slowest with a low temperature flame and smoke output. Um, and so, that's a good thing, especially when you spend $47 for a candle. Man. And again, I was just saying recently because Popular Mechanics, I think it was, Popular Science, one of those two magazines, they had a list of candles, and the most economic one was the one that had the hemp wick, and I showed that, and they were like 3 for $30 or something. And now I know why that was, in fact, a great candle deal.
Yeah.
I cannot. I guess. I mean, what? What kind of? I mean, everything is expensive now, and I get that. But $47 for one candle,
I gotta wonder who the target audience is for that. Their
right?
target demo for a $47 candle.
Yeah, and these again, this is I can understand it. It's organic again, so no part of the candle ever has had anything in it that had chemicals, and so I mean, I totally love that idea, and I would spend more for that to know that my whatever I was, especially if I was burning something
Yep.
in my house, and I would want to know that it's organic and chemical free. I mean, you can smell the chemicals in a cheap candle when they're not burning. And so that's going into the air. But and so I kind of understand a little increase in price because it's organic, but $47 for an organic candle, got a hemp wick, so you got that going for you. Anyway, um, Glamour magazine, and this was Glamour magazine out of the United Kingdom, says that a study found that topical use of CBG could promote skin health, reducing redness, and improving barrier function. They said it actually outperformed CBD in vitro studies. And so um, we'll see how far this goes. But now we're going to be, they even brought up the old anti-aging, which I hate. Again, you can't. That's like believing in time travel. you know, Anti-aging nor time travel are possible. You cannot go backwards in time either way. Um, but they brought that up, and so I think and again, we are definitely seeing CBD. I mean, there's every week in my news feed, my hemp news feed, I see 2 or 3 different um, companies that whether it's CBD or industrial hemp, and it's even more CBD now than industrial hemp, but hemp is a base for anything is great. But now we've got CBG that's supposed to be even better for our skin than CBD, and so we're probably going to start seeing that more and more. Maybe companies switching over for their topical stuff, putting CBG in it. Maybe we'll have to get a CBG cream going here for people, because I know they sure love the CBD cream. So CBG cream might be just as good, which is cannabigerol. If you're curious what the G is, cannabigerol, and it's definitely, and this is one that we can get from, again, we can grow enough CBG percentages in the flowers to, so there's probably going to be a lot of CBG available if and when it really hits the market and we need it. That's for sure. Let's see now. I feel like maybe did I skip something before when I was no? Oh yeah, I skipped the whole thing. Talking about Delta 8, still legal in Tennessee. What's interesting, what I found was that it was discovered in 1965, actually. So Delta 8's,
Wow.
we've known about Delta 8 for a long time. And again, if you're curious and you want to know, it's kind of more on the downside of things, the calming side. I think, it's showing positive stomach goodness, helping with nausea, things like that. Um, and so, and also with that is, Delta 10 is now the new one. And so Delta 8 is the controversial one because it's been around for at least a year now. I bet we've been selling Delta 8 products almost for a year at least, if I was to guess. And it's the one making all the headlines. But now Delta 10 is out there. And of course, we've been selling Delta 10 for probably at least 6 months, I'm guessing. And I'm almost surprised that Delta 10, of course, give it a minute, isn't the more controversial one. Here's what's interesting. Here's the most interesting. Delta 10 was discovered in 2020. Okay. And that's right. I said discovered. And how was it discovered? Well, ironically, it was discovered during they were fighting a bushfire out in California. Okay. And when they came back to do the cleanup, where they had sprayed certain chemicals, they noticed, and I guess these were on cannabis plants, okay, where they were fighting the fire and there were cannabis plants there and they got sprayed with these chemicals. These cannabis plants were producing these crystals. And somebody was like, well, what's going on there? Now, what I feel like is whoever was growing that cannabis came back to clean up their grow, or what was left of it, or whatever, outdoor grow, whatever. And they're the ones that notice this. I mean, and they're like, what the heck's going on here? We should probably look into this. This is interesting. What are these crystals? And that's how we got Delta 10. And again, obviously, there's a process to doing this that's not 100% natural, which we may have to look into. But and again, maybe they figured out how to again make it naturally, or extract it. I should say, not make it, because it's an extraction, or it's I guess it is made from CBD flower, one way or another. But again, and now a lot of the products we carry now, original Delta 8, are kind of switching over where they're doing both Delta 8 and Delta 10 together. Now Delta 10, and again, super new, and I haven't gotten a whole lot of customer feedback on it. They seem to, I think, really like the 8-10 together more than just the 10 or the 8 alone. But the 10 is supposed to be kind of more the up, what I would call daytime use. And so, and that being said, I'm almost surprised that we don't have more feedback, because I really feel like people want more of an up. They used to say sativa for the up, indica for the down. That's the general rule. But and so maybe what we'll find in the long run is sativas have more delta 10 in them and then delta 8 naturally, and it's a very little amount, I think, natural. And then they boost it, they make it, they do something with stuff that's done, and we have it, and it becomes a controversial headline in a lot
Yeah.
of places, more than anything. And so that's what it is with that. And again, we're getting more information on THCO, HHC, CBN, which is, we know CBN is definitely on the downside. Sleep aid, uh, because a lot of our customers have informed us of that. We don't sell a whole lot of CBN products, but the customers that use it really know that it works for them and their sleep issues. That's for sure. So, all right. I think this is the last little article, and you did get the picture. 9 sustainable ethical underwear brands. These are the WAMA, and I think I did post their information on the second page of the Hemptations website. I have talked about this brand before, and what I found interesting learning a little bit more about them from this article is that yes, they're in China, but yes, they actually they have employees in China that make sure that the plant where their products are made is clean and up to code, and people are getting paid, and they're making sure that that where this is happening, where they're getting their products in China, um, is as good as it can get, I suppose, for a Chinese employee. Again, by employing someone that's making sure those things go on, and so good for them, for sure. More hemp and underwear, yes, please. And it makes sense that they're in China. China's still producing a huge amount of industrial hemp for us, so it's great that they're uh, producing products in China, um, and doing it the right way. Doing it the right way. Anybody that it'd be great to know that there's some type of standards there being kept up with, no matter what you're making or getting from the Chinese. Some of it, yes. Most of the stuff you buy at Walmart, no. You can, and that's why it's cheap and can't be made in the United States, because it's being made for 50 cents a day by somebody in China. I'm a one world person, and I want to support people everywhere in the world, but we know what's what in the real world. That's for sure. All right. Well, let's get on to some events here and get everybody on their glorious high noon hemp show Wednesday. This weekend in Whitmore Lake, Michigan, you have April 31st and May 1st, the Hempcrete hands-on demo. And this is what the Grow Green, Michigan facility in Whitmore Lake, Michigan. And this is an iHemp thing going on. I've mentioned iHemp before. I love what they're doing in Michigan with composite frisbees and stuff like that. And this, my understanding is they're going to build a little concrete doghouse, hands-on. And hempcrete's I mean, everybody wants to know about it. Everybody wants to learn how to do it. So if you're anywhere near the Whitmore, Whitmore Lake, Michigan area, go do some hands-on hemp building. May 2nd through the 8th. If you're out by Green River, Utah, you've got the Building Man World Hemp Alliance Hempcrete Workshop. How about that? Building Man World Hemp Alliance Hempcrete Workshop. And that's May 2nd through the 8th. That's the commitment, if you have it. But that's Green River, Utah. So if you really, really want to get into it, I think that's probably worth traveling to. Make your reservations now, because it's next week. Or drive. I don't know how close you are to Utah. You could be right around the corner from Utah. Might not be that far away from you. Don't know. Um, let's see, May 20th, 21st, you got the Midwest iHemp Expo in Lansing, Michigan. That's probably going to be a good one. May 20th, you've got the Kentucky Hemp Association's annual conference and trade show at Sullivan University in Louisville, Kentucky. And then June 17th, 18th, Hemp in the Holler. Talked about this down in Mount Vernon. Definitely, we'd be, if you've never been to Kentucky, going to Mount Vernon is great. It is nothing but nature. They're not mountains. They call them mountains around there, but they're really just really big hills. But there is a lot of nature, and it's some of the most beautiful country in the whole world, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that because I grew up with it kind of in my backyard, but that the whole eastern side of Kentucky is just beautiful. It's just beautiful. It's very little touched, for the most part, in a lot of nature. And Hemp in the Holler's been going on for a while now. I was down there a couple years hanging out, and it's great. It's a little bit of everything when it comes to hemp as well. What else we got? June 24th through the 26th, the Southern Atlantic Hemp and Arts Expo in Fletcher, North Carolina. And then July 1st and 2nd, the Happy Hemp Conference and Festival in Richmond, Virginia. I sure like the sound of that. So there you have it. I don't have any questions. I opened the show with talking about what was going on with the MMJ in Ohio policy and the Delta 8 and all that. So that was my answers. That was my beach thoughts for the day. Thanks everybody for tuning in to season 15. That's right, episode 1 of season 15 of the High Noon Hemp Show. Whether you're watching live or you're watching later, we sure appreciate it. And remember, reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having temptations.
See you all next week.